If these methods, even one more person, even 1% in your life, can make a difference in it, can change it, I couldn't ask for more. Hello, I'm Hawaii's Palace. As we did in the last video, today I'll factor what turns your imagination into reality, which is called the law of attraction, and how to do it in detail. No matter how long today's video is, I'll wrap up the factorization series with this video, the 4 basic steps of the law of attraction. 1. Say it out loud. 2. Write it by hand. 3. Visualize your imagination. 4. Express gratitude. In addition to these 4 steps, I said there were other ways that work really well. Among them, I told you to write down all the goals in your notebook and read them before and after bed. The next one is to say it 1,000 times for 90 days. I also tried this method from spring to summer. As you can see, I said it 1,000 times a day using the Easy Counter app. I did it for 90 days in a row without exceptions. I think this method is also difficult. I've tried both, so I can tell you the difficulty is similar to writing it 100 times for 100 days. You have to say it 1,000 times, so it takes a bit over an hour if you don't stop. Of course, it'd take less time after you get used to it. Basically, this method takes more time than writing it 100 times for 100 days. Since it takes a lot more time without stopping, it's very difficult to do this 1,000 times at once. So only if I could, I did it 1,000 times at a time. When I couldn't, I stopped saying a few times. You should know why you do this before doing it. Between just doing it because you're told it's good and doing it while knowing why you do it and what happens if you do it, there's a huge difference. Likewise, the ultimate goal is to make it your habit and imprint it on your unconscious mind. And you might wonder why you have to do it for 90 days. This is not just a number. The number has been medically and psychologically proven. Have you ever heard of the 21 days theory? In the United States in the 1960s, Dr. Maxwell Maltz first argued for it in his book called The Law of Success. Maltz, who was a plastic surgeon, studied how long it took people who lost their limbs in accidents to adjust to it, and he came up with the 21 days theory. These 21 days are through the cerebral cortex responsible for doubt and stereotype, and the limbic system responsible for fear and anxiety. The minimum time it takes for thoughts to reach the brainstem that controls habits. After that, through the study of many psychologists and medical scientists, the theory became more systematic. Professor Philippa Lawley's team at University College London also said, before something is repeated enough to form a synapse, doing what you don't usually do causes strong resistance because no memory cells have been created to input the behavior yet. So she argued for a new behavior to become a habit. It takes at least 21 days. So the 21 days theory has been applied to many psychological treatments and continues to this day. The actual psychological recovery program is also conducted on a 3-week basis per step. After hearing this, you might think that you only need 21 days or 3 weeks and wonder why you have to do it 90 days. These 21 days are the step to imprint habits on our brains. As I said earlier, the reason you're doing this is because to make it your habit and imprint it on your unconscious mind, it takes 21 days to make it your habit, and through the habit, it takes 90 days to imprint it on your unconscious mind. So you need a period of 3 months. According to the Journal of European Social Psychology in 2009, people did certain behavior at the same time every day, and until the habit got totally imprinted on their minds, the average time it took to make it their second nature was 12 weeks. It takes 3 months to make a new habit completely yours. So writing it 100 times for 100 days was also for this reason. You need to do it for 90 days to imprint it on your unconscious mind. So rather than doing it 100 times for 90 days, symbolically, let's do it 100 times for 100 days. I think that's why. I was watching Bob Proctor's lecture video while taking a walk. To imprint it on your mind that you have what you want in advance, you need to say it 1,000 times for 90 days. I heard that for the first time there. Although I've practiced this mindset and the law of attraction for a long time, experienced the effects myself and tried most of those methods, when I heard that I had to do it 1,000 times for 90 days, I thought it would be hard. But while taking a walk, I had this thought. This could change my life. It costs no money. It's not difficult or complicated. It doesn't exhaust me or require physical strength. But by doing this, I could achieve my life that I want. So I thought it would be a much more serious harm to me not to do it. And I started it just that day while taking a walk. The next one is, when you wake up in the morning, be thankful for today as you've already been through it. Among various methods, this is my favorite. It's kind of a cheat code. It's because as soon as you do this after you wake up in the morning, you feel amazingly good in a moment, and you can start your day with positive energy. And most of the days that start like this actually had good results. After waking up in the morning, to myself, I say, today was the best day ever. Thanks. It's also good to be more specific, such as, I was really thankful for this today. Your body is starting the morning now, but it's like you're sending your thought or mind to the first team, letting it go through the day first. And then, to you, who've just started the morning, it brings a hint of the day. One of my subscribers gave a very brilliant name to this method. He called it prepaid gratitude. I thought it was such a good name. It's because when we want to have something, we sometimes pay in advance and get it. But why didn't we think of doing that for thankful results? It's because I once thought about it. I'll summarize it more clearly. I want to have a thankful result, so I'm thankful for that in advance so that you can get the result. The next one is give a high five. Who do you give a high five to? You need to give a high five to someone you've never done it before, to yourself. I don't do this every day, but sometimes I want to do this. On such days, I usually give myself a high five in the mirror in the bathroom. When you hear this, you might think it's embarrassing and it makes you cringe. That's what I thought before I did this too, but I still can't forget the first time I did this. It's case by case, but when I gave a high five to myself in the mirror, I felt some kind of electric shock in the back of my left head, a tingling sensation. I'll tell you why you need to do it and what effect it has. When do we usually give high fives? Basically, we do it to someone else. And we usually give high fives when we have something to celebrate, when something good happens, when we should give positive energy to the other person, and when we cheer up. And when you give a high five to the other person, usually your face is bright too. We don't give a gloomy high five, right? And not only the facial expression, but also the moment you actually give someone a high five, you would feel better too. Yes, right. You can exactly give that feeling and that energy to yourself. You may never have congratulated yourself, given yourself positive energy, or cheered for yourself. So let's do it now. It's embarrassing for your family or other people to see you do this, so I recommend you do it when you're alone in the bathroom. It takes less than 30 seconds. Subscribers, please try this and give me feedback in the comments. It's very simple, but it works. The next method is try to attract small things first. The law of attraction, when you try to say, write, and visualize what you want, you may set a medium and long-term goal, and that's natural. So it's inevitable to take some time to achieve it. But very small things like, I see this scene when I go out. There used to be no parking space. If I go there today, there's a space for me. Something happened to me, so one of my friends who knows it to congratulating me sent me a message. Things like that. Imagine these small scenes. This is what I got inspiration from Neville Goddard. He told us in his lecture to imagine a ladder before we go to bed for the next 7 days. To imagine ourselves climbing the ladder. And he told us to come back to this lecture a week later and talk about what happened to us for that week. As a result, more than half of the students actually saw the ladder they imagined in their daily lives or even climbed it. For example, when a young man visited his parents' house, the roof of the house was broken. So he saw his father climbing onto the roof with a ladder. Until then, the man had totally forgotten the ladder he had imagined before going to bed. But his father told him to come up to the roof with the tools down there. So without thinking deeply, he was climbing the ladder with his tools in his hands. And he got goosebumps in the middle of the ladder, thinking, I'm really going up the ladder right now. It's not a big deal. Imagine these very small things, and I hope you experience it coming true. Once you visualized your imagination and made it happen, you can be more convinced of the law of attraction, and you can be more confident about it too. The next is the last one of the additional ways that work well. I think a lot of people have heard this. Make your bed in the morning. It's nothing, but it's a big issue in the US because at the graduation ceremony at the University of Texas, William McRaven, a former US Navy captain, gave a speech about it. In this speech, McRaven said, "If you want to change your life, make your bed first in the morning." That's what he said. I actually knew this method for a long time, but I wasn't interested in it because, if I say this, you might think I'm too lazy. If I sleep on the floor, I have to tidy it up. But because I sleep on the bed, I thought I didn't have to do it all the time. I'm going to sleep at night anyway, so I thought I don't have to tidy it up. But one of the methods I said earlier was to be thankful in advance when you wake up in the morning. When I woke up in the morning, expressed prepaid gratitude by myself, and made my bed, the start of the day changed. Starting a day with positive energy gives us a lot of strength than we think. If you come home from the day, wash up, and see a clean bed before going to bed, you'll think, "So I started my day with this, and I'm glad I did this." We sometimes have a really safe day, a day when nothing happens. Nothing happens, so you might think that you didn't do anything. But before you go to sleep, when you see the bed that you made in the morning, you can feel that you've done something today. I finally told you all of them. In addition to the 4 basic methods: 1. Say it out loud. 2. Write it by hand. 3. Visualize your imagination. 4. Express gratitude. And plus, 5. Write it down in your notebook and read it before and after bed. 6. Say it 1,000 times for 90 days. 7. Express prepaid gratitude. 8. Give a high five to yourself. 9. Try to attract small things first so that you can get used to attraction itself. 10. Make your bed in the morning. I've told you all. I've tried all these methods myself, and I'm doing some of them. I've only told you what I thought actually worked. Among these methods, 1 or 2 are okay, so try what you can do in your situation. If you do that, you'll want to try other things too. And likewise, about how you feel after you've tried them, about your feelings, thoughts, and changes, please leave a comment. This is the last video of the factorization series on the law of attraction. This is what I've always told you, so you might be tired of it. The reason I've always told you this is because I really think so. If these methods, even one more person, even 1% in your life, can make a difference in it, can change it, I couldn't ask for more. Thank you. This has been Hawaii's Palace.